Hi. Sorry, I've just discovered I can do an impression of Fat Albert from South Park, and I can't stop myself. So sorry about that. Yeah, sorry about the wait. I just had a bit of a bitch doing these, multiple takes, and in the end, I found I was repeating myself. And you could see that it wasn't coming spontaneous. It wasn't spontaneous on the when I played it back. I was a little bored and I was just getting really frustrated. And also, I tried to upload one and it went over 11 minutes. It was 11 minutes and 6 seconds. So I sort of gave up. Don't realise how tough this has been. But I'm here now. Hopefully, ready and raring to go. I would have done this last night, but I had to watch the Reds taking down Benfica 4-1. You know, that'll always put a spring back in my step. Here we are. This has been such a bitch that I've written a script. I've tried not to write scripts. I write a script for a tag vid, but not something like this. I should know what I'm talking about, but this has been more difficult than I realised it would be. So, yeah, this is called, I'm going to call it Flimpics, and I'll explain why. Flim, the word flim, obviously, film. If you say it quickly to yourself, flim, say flim. It sounds like saying film, but there was a guy who worked in the a video shop, the first video shop we ever used to go to rent videos from, must have been way back in sort of the mid-80s. And he couldn't say film. He said, "Flim, you want a flim?" So it sort of stuck with me, and I thought I'll use it. Just to make this easier for myself, I'm going to make these videos just 3 pics worth. They're going to be 3 films that I'm going to talk about. It'll be easier for me and more palatable for you. I did think about just doing one, and I could do like really short little vids, but I thought, well, too many or not enough. I thought 3 is just about a nice amount, so I'll stop waffling. Otherwise, I'll be going against what I've been trying. I'll be doing what I've been trying not to. So we'll start off. Here we go. First one. Sorry, where my hat line is. I'm not actually a chav. It's just this hat makes my head ache if I wear it down like that. So I'll wear it on the back of my head. Anyway, I'm rambling. First film, Brotherhood of the Wolf. I think I'm playing to the gallery with this one. Brotherhood of the Wolf. This is. By that I mean I think I'm guessing by maybe the people who are watching this. This will be one that they're most likely to like. Brotherhood of the Wolf. A quick plot synopsis. It's pretty much Sleepy Hollow. French. It's in French, or it's a foreign film. French. It's pretty much Sleepy Hollow, but with kung fu. How brilliant does that sound? Sleepy Hollow with kung fu. It's made by a guy called Christophe Gans. Well, that might be Christophe Gans, depending on how your pronunciation, because he's French. He has since made the Silent Hill film. Don't let that put you off. And he's apparently due to be making, or supposed to be making, an Onimusha film. I don't know how that's going to work out, but Onimusha. What sort of film would you make out of Onimusha? Do enough people know Onimusha? Yeah, so it's Sleepy Hollow with kung fu. I initially I read about it. I remember reading about it in the paper, and I thought that looked. They made a big deal of it, and I rented it from Blockbuster, and I thought I really enjoyed it. And I thought I'm going to go and buy it for HMV. I found it eventually for a decent price, and I took it to the counter. This is quite a while ago. This is actually a good few years ago now. Actually, I took it to the counter, and the guy saw what I was buying. He went, "Wow, it's supposed to be a really good film, isn't it?" I went, "Yeah, it's great." And I made the mistake of almost giving away the ending to him, and he looked crestfallen. That sort of stuck with me. I felt really guilty. But no, what it is, it's pretty much Sleepy Hollow with kung fu. It starts like a western. There's this emphasis on sort of the silhouettes of the heroes. They ride in on horses in this sort of torrential rain to rescue this man and his daughter from being set upon by thugs. And they ride up, and then one of them gets off his horse and just starts dealing death with a pike staff and just kicking arse of these thugs. It's the action is really, really nicely done. I mean, it's a lot of slow mo. It's especially that first sequence is slow mo, and obviously takes references from Sam Peckinpah, Walter Hill, and it looks really stylish. Sorry, I'm having to read off this script to keep myself going. It's sort of set in pre-revolutionary France, and it's basically these two men get sent by the king to this region of France that's been terrorised by some unknown monster, and they're sent by the king to go and investigate and take the monster out. So it's just a cracking film, really nicely done, and looks great. I would watch it with the subtitles if I were you, because this is dubbed, and it's just dubbing is just comical, isn't it? And it's got a really nicely satisfactory resolution. It ties itself together really nicely, and that's my first pick. It's called Brotherhood of the Wolf. It's a funny one. It's Gerry, made by Gus Van Sant. You might know him from he made Elephant, the Columbine film. He remade Psycho shot for shot, and Last Days, the sort of Kurt Cobain film about the last days of Kurt Cobain's life, and My Own Private Idaho. I think it was one of River Phoenix's last films. It's a homage to a foremost Hungarian filmmaker called Béla Tarr, who's the equivalent of, I don't know, someone like Ken Loach or one of the sort of major British film directors. Don't take that as a negative thing, because Hungarian filmmaking is really flourishing at the moment. So he's obviously seen something in Hungarian film, and he decided to take it as a starting point for film. And this is stylistically, it's long drawn out takes, and very little happens in this. It's about these two guys. You've got Casey Affleck, brother of Ben, and Matt Damon, who decide to go for a walk in I think it's Arizona or Nevada, or might even be where the salt flats in America. It's not a country park, but it's out in the wilderness. They decide to go for a walk, and the long drawn out takes are just spectacular. And it starts off with a camera mounted on the front of the car, and pointing into the cab of the car, and the first take is just that, no dialogue, just a score over the top, and this really nice shot of them sort of driving with this fixed camera pointing into the car for about 10 minutes, and the film sort of follows that sort of sequence. It's basically banter between these two guys. The dialogue is the banter, and they call each other Gerry, and I think that's what they're not actually called Gerry. I think it's to do with the vernacular. It's about brotherhood, and it's their two friends, and it's how sort of people talk, isn't it? Like sort of two friends, they'll develop their own speech. It's the vernacular, it's the slang they use, and they call each other Gerry, and they use the word Gerry for other things as well. They go to places, and they Gerry to places. He uses the sort of the camera angles and the long drawn out takes it apes the style of Béla Tarr, and it sort of builds a sense of dread, because it's pretty much about death. I think it's about death, but don't let that put you off, because it looks incredible. There's no plot, very little happens, but it's just a beautiful, beautiful film. I can't really say too much about it. Here we go again. Bloody recorded message. Swingers. this is one of my favourite films I've seen just countless times. You've got John Favreau, that's Vince Vaughn and John Favreau. John Favreau just moved from New York to LA to find work as a comedian, an actor, and it's basically he had to break up with his girlfriend and he's pining after her, and it's basically him going out with his mates. Again, it's another film about brotherhood and friendship and loyalty. He goes out with his mates and tries to cop off with women, has fights, plays video games. The dialogue in this is really accurate. It's got that same, like in Gerry, that same sort of vernacular between friends. They develop their own language, and this has the same thing. They play EA hockey in this, or NHL hockey in this, and there's actually a whole sequence about playing the video game. So really, really funny. One of the funniest films I've ever seen. So I'm coming up to 11 minutes. I don't want to go over. So thanks for watching, and come back for the next one some other time. See you later.